Hey everyone, today I'm going to be giving you guys a couple of 3x3 one-handed example solves. So a little bit about me as a one-handed solver. Officially, I'm ranked top 100 in both average and single, and I average about 12 at home. This cube is the Shop RS3 M 2020 from thecubicle.com. I'll leave a link in the description. So these solves are going to be as honest as possible. I'm going to do only what I would do in a normal solve, so no fancy algs or really crazy solutions. And yeah, I hope I can help. The first scrambles on screen. Yeah. So I only do white cross, and I don't plan first pair that often, so I'm probably not going to do that in many of these solves. So first, I see these 4 white cross pieces, and I think the first thing I'm going to do is position this green and white cross edge in the front, so then I can pair up this white and orange cross piece like this. And do another D to solve the cross so far. And then I have this cross edge with the L prime. And then I would insert this pair like normal. And now I see this pair. And I also see this pair that just came up. So I'm going to do this pair. And now I can cancel in to solving the green and orange pair in the back. Next, I see this orange and blue pair. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do a U to position this pair like this, like a normal 3x3 solve. Yes, I'm going to rotate. I'm going to do a U prime, R2, U to pair up the pair, and then R2 and insert. Next, I see this red and blue pair, so I'm going to rotate and solve this pair into the back. So this OLL in 3x3, I would normally do something like this with the lefty alg, but I found out recently that I can just do F sexy F prime and get anti-C, which I can execute from this angle and I guess not any other angle. And then I'm left with the G prime. Here's the next scramble. Okay. So immediately I see these 4 white cross pieces here, 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 and here. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a D prime to put this white and orange edge in the back. I'm going to do an F to align these two so that they're opposite. And then I can just do an R prime, D2, R prime D to solve cross. So I'm right here and there's a lot of corners down below. So that's kind of really unlucky. But I guess the first thing I would probably see is this pair. Even though it's really inefficient, because I have to take it out, pair it, and put it back here. Just TPS is hopefully going to help me. So what I would do for this pair is I'm going to do an R, U prime. And here I can kind of cancel into solving it, or to pairing it up. With an R2, U2, R. And then I'll insert into the back. Next, I see this orange and green pair. So I'm going to rotate, solve this pair. And then I see this pair, which I can solve like this with this weird rotation because it's lefty. And then I have one more pair. So I'm going to rotate and insert. Next, I have OLL. And here's where I'm going to use a lot of my table. And then I'm left with a J prime. Alright, the third scramble. Yeah, not great. But what I would probably do is first get these 2 cross pieces together and solve them in relation to each other like this. And now they're opposite. I'm going to solve this cross piece next. So I'm going to do a D prime, put it down, and then I can do a D, R prime, D2 to solve cross. So yeah, the first pair I see is this one. I think there's also this red and blue. Oh, I thought this was the right edge, but never mind. Yeah, so I saw this first anyways, so I'm gonna rotate like this because it's lefty. Rotate again, insert into the back. Now I have a couple of different options, either this red and blue or this orange and blue. But I think I would normally do this blue and red. So I'm gonna insert, rotate, and insert. And then I see this pair next. So I'm gonna do a U prime and solve this lefty with the rotation. And then one more pair. So I'm gonna rotate and solve. Next OLL. And then a G prime. Oh, and I use that RUD instead of wide moves. Here's the fourth scramble. Again, not fantastic. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve the red and green white cross pieces first. So I'm going to position my cube like this and do an R, U, R prime, so they're in relation to each other. Next, I see this blue and white, so I can do a D prime, or a D first. Begin inserting this piece, but before I fully insert it, I can bring this orange and white down with it, and then F. So, yay, we did it. We have a free pair. So I'm just gonna rotate and solve. Yeah, I think it would actually be better to solve in the back so you have this whole thing open. But I probably would actually just insert this anyways because I really want to keep track of this pair next. So I'm going to insert it like this, rotate, and then solve this green and red pair. Rotate again, solve into the back. So next I have orange blue or red blue. Here's red blue and here's orange blue. I would probably go for red blue first, but first rotate and solve it into the back. And then I can immediately go into solving this pair. OLL. And yeah, I use this alg, so it's gonna have a cool rotation. And then G perm with RUD. Here is the fifth and final scramble. Let's see what we get. Okay, cross pieces that are really close to each other. That's cool. So yeah, first I'm gonna put this blue cross piece edge in to solve it in relation to this orange piece. Then I'll do a U prime, rotate up, do a D, R prime, and F to solve this last piece, and then D2. So next I see red and blue first. I could do keyhole, but I don't have two hands. So yeah, I'm probably gonna do that anyways. So I'm gonna rotate to take it out, and I'm gonna pair red and blue in the back. Then I see orange and green, so I'm gonna rotate and solve it lefty. And next so I'm gonna do this red and, oh, that is not red. This blue and orange into the front. And now I have just a lonely edge in its corner here. See, I wouldn't solve this like beginner's method with rotation. I would just try to use R moves because I like R moves. So I'll take this corner out, reposition it, and insert to the front. Next, yay OLL, and a A-perm. And yeah, my execution for this, so I use the standard A-perm alg, and my execution will look something like this. Yeah, and those were my 5 example solves. As you saw, my solutions weren't that crazy and were kind of simple, but yeah, that's all you really need for OH. It's just a lot of TPS, good finger tricks, plenty of algs and good algs for OH, and a lot of table spun.